Well, hello. This is gonna be a very interesting episode considering the fact that it's kinda not like what we've done before. We don't really have much else to talk about, so we're just gonna see what comes up and we'll just go from there. So, hope y'all have been having a wonderful week so far. And looking forward to surviving the next month. I know for a fact we're still in the sticks, but we'll make it out eventually. It's just gonna take some time, maybe some proper conversations and healing. But all in all, it's gonna be a slow burn for all of us. I'm just gonna hop into the voice chat roughly pretty soon once the timer is reaching its close. And we'll go from there. So, hope y'all stick around for what we're gonna be talking about next. It could be anything. It could be anything. Alright, let's hop in. Hey. Can you hear me? Yo, Dante, you there? I guess, think about work something out here. Either his mic's not connected or he might be away for the most part. Yep. You here?
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
My headset from my PS4 because it messed up, and it turns out that the one I bought actually is not USB, but actually uses a headphone jack. So I wanted to try it on my phone here, and well, it looks like we're good.
Yeah, it sounds pretty clean too.
Oh, that's definitely a plus. All right.
So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just about to say, what were we going to talk about in this situation?
Well, I actually just wanted to just pick your brain up for a couple of things, and then when a couple of people start showing up, throw some questions at them too. First thing I actually wanted to bug you about was actually, yeah, let's just go straight into it. One thing I wanted to poke your brain at was if I'm not mistaken, the suits that you typically play, you do play EXS,
right?
I believe you play Gaia,
Mm-hmm.
and those are the only two that come off the top of me. What other suits do you mainly use?
Well, lately I've been using the Leos Type 2 Valiant Surface, which is also a 3K. I've also been using Avalanche Exia as well.
All right, and Gaia's a 2K, right?
2.5.
Wait, Gaia's 2.5?
Oh, Gaia is 2K. 2K.
Well, okay, I'm like, wait a minute, what? I'm like, since when? All right, so why don't you play 1Ks? Why don't you play 1.5s?
Well, I do play Zuda every now and then, but I just mostly save that for like different occasions here and there.
Gotcha. Well, I guess I can't really blame you because I notice a lot of people tend to run 3Ks in comps anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so it doesn't really leave much for 1.5s. It's not really an ideal composition for them. It's an admittedly pretty hard composition to run, if I'm honest,
It
because
is.
that tends to put a lot of pressure on the 1.5.
Mm-hmm. Though there are some situations where some players may allow like the 1.5 to go all
Take all the
in.
lives.
Yeah, take all the lives, and the 3K just backs up and to provide enough cover. I'm pretty sure as
Hmm.
time goes on, you're gonna see a bit more re-GZs pop up and campers.
Well, those are the two strongest 1.5s right now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even then, I don't think we're in a situation like Gundam Versus, where, in my opinion, a lot of the 1.5s were weak. If I'm not
Mm-hmm.
mistaken, the only 1.5 that a lot of people really used was Silver Sumo, right?
Yep. The only 200 was Silver Sumo, maybe the occasional Marasai, but that was pretty much it.
Yeah, figured. That's unfortunate. The Let me think. No, that I don't really feel like that's really the case in Emon,
Nah.
because if you have the execution for it, Hildolfr is perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stand by Alex all the time. Uh, Bernie Zaku is a little bit hard to use because you got to get good with the grenades, but I think it's still perfectly viable, especially now that the his assist has two different types instead of just one.
Mm-hmm.
And then not only that, but it also recharges, as opposed to before where it's like if you run out of it, then that's it for the life.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a plus. The Camphor is just insanely good.
Yeah. It's an absolute bully.
Rigazi, I'm sorry, go ahead. Yeah, Camphor's nuts. But I feel like there's a lot of 1.5. I feel like that's actually the cost that I see the least, and I'm assuming it's because of the fact that so many people um tend to run 3Ks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what kind of disappoints me. Most people tend to just want to run 3Ks. So it kind of sucks because I feel like it'd be nice to see be nice to see 1 point more. I'm all for seeing the 1.5s be used. Um, Not only that, but it's also because there's plenty of 2.5s that can play with 1.5s.
Yeah.
But I think the other thing that I've noticed too, I prefer the other thing too is because I do like when you play 1.5, 2.5, the overcost penalty isn't too bad on the isn't as hard on the 2.5, but there's also the added benefit that if you do treat it as a double front, if the 2.5 dies first, then when the 1.5 goes down, there is no overcost. And if
Mm-hmm.
the 2.5 died first, and clearly the 2.5 is going to come back at full strength as opposed to having to deal with overcost.
Yep.
So I think that's an advantage in itself.
Yeah.
So you have a double front composition where the 2.5 dies first, then the 1.5 goes down. They're both coming back at full strength, and then the 1.5 is going to get an overcost life.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not mistaken, the 1.5s don't suffer the typical penalties.
Yeah, they always
Um,
have some more. They have a bit more resilience when it comes to being paired up with 2.5s. It's the most balanced cost when you pair them up together. When you think about it.
I think that's definitely a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so besides Zudo, any other 1.5s you use?
Uh, well, I should. I would. I was planning like experimenting with like RGC, maybe Camphor, Alex to some degree, but anything else, not to my mind.
Mm, okay.
Because I feel like I don't have the technical prowess in order to handle Adolphir pretty well.
Yeah, the only Hildolfr player I know is Deuce, and he hasn't been using them recently either.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he has like a bunch
Because
of H suits to work with, so yeah.
what happened?
He has a bunch of H suits to work with, so that's pretty much him.
Well, it's not only that, but I believe he mentioned. I think he mentioned before that one of the problems he was facing with is that there's a lot of suits nowadays that kind of make Hildover's life really difficult. He was just like, nah, fuck that.
Mm-hmm. And some of the maps too. Some of the maps really don't favor ground runners in general.
True.
But then again,
Like,
Hidalfia has a lot of attacks that arc up and just act as artillery.
true. Hmm. So, quick thing. The actually feel kind of dumb because I thought that the streaming was blocked, but it turns out that it isn't. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's just that a lot of the music that's playing is mostly going to be like either Crossbone or something else that they laxed up pretty recently.
Yeah, right now the thing I noticed was that the only thing it blocks is that you can't save clips natively. Kind of like how if I had a good match in in Gundam Battle Operation 2, I would do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just save the clip immediately. But now it's just like no, you can't do that in this. But that's okay. At least you can stream. The only thing that's kind of annoying is that I think the patch just came out, so now the patch rotates music.
Yep.
Because I noticed, as you mentioned before, it was only kind of forcing crossbow music for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was like that in the
I'm
online
assuming
demo
because of the
too.
whole copyright thing, right?
Yeah,
I'm assuming that's because of the copyright thing.
definitely.
And it's kind of funny because because I was looking at him like, why is it playing crossbow music? I don't have any crossbow music listed on my playlist right now. Like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, stop that. I don't want to listen to crossbow music. Crossbow doesn't even have any anime. Get out of here.
Ah, don't be like that, man. It deserves
Hey,
this.
look,
It
man.
deserves a day in the
Look.
sun.
I gotta take my pot shots where I can. Nah, that's a free pot shot.
Yeah, but then again, the Stray does need that anime adaptation soon enough, and a proper one, not those animated shorts.
Um, I think I just lost my train of thought. Uh, I'm actually kind of surprised that it still doesn't have a an anime. I could have sworn
What, a Stray?
no, not a straight. I'm sorry. I was still talking about Crossbone. I'm
Oh,
actually surprised Crossbone doesn't have an anime.
yeah. I think it might be just how the art style might be. I don't know if they're gonna either plan on just keeping that style that was prevalent in the manga, or they're gonna update it to be a little bit more modern. I hope they actually stick with the same kind of art style, to be quite honest,
Mm,
to some degree.
eh.
Because I think there's like there's a lot of crossbone related stuff out there, and same thing with like a F90. There's like F90 FF, which has some really interesting mechanical designs, like some that don't even look like it comes from Gundam whatsoever. Like you would be surprised to see like one of the machines looks more like something that would fit in like Super Robot Wars in the OG universe. Like if I could find it, I know Jetfire has been talking about that a lot. Let me see if I can put. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Let me put it up on stream real quick. This stuff.
Ooh.
This is all from F90FF.
Why do these look like something out of a Super Robot Wars?
Exactly! These are like modified lions if you look at it carefully.
Yeah, that other one, dead ass, looks like something from SRW.
Mm-hmm. So I like that they're getting really out there with the kind of designs for like the late UC stuff. Because once you start reaching like the Zanskar Empire, that's where things really get uncanny. And pretty much use like that bug motif too.
They're kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait. Okay, now this transformate can be real. I'll leave the comparison to SRW because the designs might be from SRW designer. Yeah. So it's a possible speculation that someone who's done Super Robot Wars probably did it, but hey, you may never know. You may never know. And the fact that, what do you think? You think we're gonna get like an OG game by I think it's the 30th anniversary of Super Robot Wars?
When was the last one we got? Was it the last one, Moon Dwellers?
Yeah, the last one was Moon Dwellers, and that came out like around 2018 or so.
When's the next Super Robot Wars coming out?
Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to figure out because they might have something planned for like the next big anniversary. And most of their efforts have been geared towards like their mobile games division. So mostly focusing on Cross Omega and DD. So we probably won't have a Super Robot Wars game until the next big anniversary, is what I'm feeling. And possibly not a crossover too. Hopefully not a crossover, I might add. Because I feel like they've reached their quota so far.
Okay. What else can I pick your brain at when it comes to this stuff today? How's your experience been so far with the game as far as on playing either in rank shuffle, rank hold, or just regular player matches?
Well, since I play a lot of player matches, I've definitely been enjoying the game. I've played a bit of ranked shuffle, not a lot of ranked hold. Though hold I usually reserve to like play with people that I know rather than randoms. Because that way I could kind of coordinate things a little bit better. But all in all, I would still rather stick into the player lobbies a little bit more. I have a feeling that though matchmaking is not going to be fixed, or it's not going to be just as so. It's going to be paired up with like people of the similar skill levels. I don't know what it was like over in the arcades, but
I've mostly played rank shuffle, and I think I've only had 2 matches tops where where somebody in the match AFK.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's safe to say that it hasn't been an issue.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some people did mention it before that some people were, I guess, farming CP for some oddball reason, but I haven't seen it. I've only seen it twice, so it doesn't. I don't think it's that common.
Yeah, I think with the new confirmation that they rolled out, it's really going to put a damper on a lot of people trying to farm CP.
That's definitely a good thing because it's just like farming CP doesn't make you good.
No. And even there's like some cases where like character points. Let's clarify that for the viewers. It's not anything insidious. Character points. Those stars on the mobile suits they usually use frequently. some people may have like they're like their second tier, and they still play the suits like trash. So it's kind of night and day compared to like people that really know their stuff, play their suits to like a practical gospel, and just still have like one or two star, like 2 or 3 stars under their belt with their suit. Probably because they just switch around a lot, or they just like to bounce around the roster.
Yeah.
Because quite frankly, there's a lot of suits to play with, and some of them are very fun and very viable too.
Yeah, I'm hoping people keep that in mind and continue to play suits that are interesting and fun and not just devolve into just the meta suits. But even then, at least in this game, compared to full boost, there's enough strong suits to go around that you can still play without a.
Yeah, like before, I was the kind of person that would seldom play top tier, or just
Why?
rarely play top tier for this, just for pride's sake, to see if I'm actually capable of doing things without having to rely on like sheer strength to do it. But then again, ironically, I have played Banshee Norn in full boost, so who am I to say that?
Scumbag. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Honestly, my mentality has changed on that.
Yeah.
I think beginners slash weaker players need to realize two different. For starters, honestly, tier list doesn't mean shit if you're weak.
Hmm.
It really doesn't. It honestly doesn't. A strong player is gonna whoop your ass regardless. Let's just get that out of the way. A strong player is gonna whoop your ass regardless of the point. But even then, like this is more of a fighting game thing. And this kind of goes to. Have you seen any of Corey Gaming's videos?
Yes.
I think there was a video that he did about that exactly, where he mentions where even if you do that, if you take two people who are good at a specific thing, either way, it's like if you take a match between two scrubs and a match between a scrub and a good player, they kind of look the same thing.
Hmm.
Like if you have a guy who's good at zoning and a guy who's good at rushdown, it's either the guy who's good at zoning ends up zoning out the other guy, and the other guy doesn't get to do anything, or the rushdown guy gets in and vortexes his ass. So
Yeah.
either way, it's a stomp. Whereas you take a pro player versus a scrub, or a weaker player. Excuse me, not to just go and bash people, but you take a strong player versus a weaker player. The strong player is gonna go ahead and analyze, and download you immediately,
Hmm.
and then realize, oh, this person doesn't respond well to zoning, zones him out. Oh, this guy isn't reacting well to getting rushed down. I'm going to rush his ass down and blow him up immediately.
Right.
So it's just like, you know what? Either way, it's a stomp. You got stomped. Deal with it. So I think people just need to realize, if you're a weaker player, if you're just starting out, sanfordkelly.mp dot ABI, pick a top tier.
Pick a top tier.
Because the thing is, when you pick a top tier, you're picking a character that is gonna have an easier time winning, and that's good, because by picking a top tier, and it's gonna give you a chance to win more, and that's gonna build your confidence. But not only that, but unless it's some sort of character who's like incredibly demanding and complicated, you're gonna learn the game.
Yeah. Like
And
Reborns.
then, so it's like, once you pick a suit that's strong and easy, you learn the game, then, right?
Right.
Then, once you learn the game, now that you've learned the game, now you can pick another character. Let's assume he's weaker,
Hmm.
that you like. And now that you understand how the game works, now that you're stronger at the game, your skill, your knowledge can make up for that weakness of the character. So I think that's the best way to go about it, as opposed to just being hard headed and playing a weak character. Because the thing is, a lot of times, let's be real, a person plays a weak suit or whatever. Person plays a weak suit, or a person plays a weak character in a fighting game, and let's just assume in this example that they're a weak player. What do you think they're going to do when they lose?
Complain
About
about like the suits being too strong, or
exactly. They're gonna. It's mainly gonna be a complaint about either that they're picking something that's too weak or that the opponent's picking something that's too strong. They're gonna basically complain about everything but whatever it is that they're doing, and they're just not gonna admit that, you know what, maybe you need to just be better. So I think, my main point is by doing that, by picking a stronger suit, that's less of an excuse that you're gonna have. So because now that you have less of an excuse, that means now, because you have so much less of an excuse, the only thing you can do is look at what you're doing, look at what you're playing, and recognize what you got to do to get better.
yeah,
So that I think that's another reason why you should pick a top tier. It's not just because, oh, pick a top tier so you could win, but it's pick a top tier because now you have less excuses to make for why you lost. Now you have to say, you know what, I got to get better. Plain and simple.
yep. Also,
I
what's
lost because I lost because I need to get better.
mhm.
And that's literally it. No excuses, or at least, or even no, I'm sorry, or at least if you do have an excuse, now it's at least valid. It's like, okay, I didn't know the matchup. I didn't know the gimmicks. Maybe I could have done this better. This character has the tools. So what do I need to do to beat this? I don't understand what this character does. Blah 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 blah.
Right.
So I think ultimately it's going to be better for players to recognize to do that and just I mean later on sure branch out, but ultimately remove that excuse. That's the first part. Remove that excuse and then go from there because eventually you're going to have the skills to make a suit work. Because I mean, look at what happened in Tekken. Somebody actually won. I think somebody won an actual like high level event
Yeah, Tekken World
and they were
Tour.
and they were playing Gigas. Somebody won an event playing Gigas, who's like the fucking who's like one of the worst characters in the game.
Hmm.
Somebody won an event. I know somebody won an event with Panda,
Panda, yeah,
and
Rangchu.
and Panda's supposed to be horrible. So it can be done.
Hmm. It just requires a lot
You
more
know,
work.
I mean it's gonna require work, but then at the same time, given how big of a cast Tekken has, there's also the factor of matchup knowledge.
Hmm.
you know, because the one problem with picking top, the only problem with picking top tiers is that everybody knows it,
Yep.
so everybody should have answers for it. The only real exception to that rule is Dark Phoenix, but I don't remember her being really considered top tier.
Oh, she was.
Like she's strong, but I
Yeah,
don't, I don't. Was
yeah,
she?
she's
Nah,
strong,
I'd
but
have to.
she can't afford to get hit once because she has like 420 health.
Yeah.
Also, what's up? What's up, Twilight? Please refrain from calling me daddy anytime soon.
Call
And
him daddy. He likes it. He likes it. He likes it.
no,
Call him daddy.
no, no, no. I
Clearly,
just
he likes it.
just only the ladies. Also, AJ, do you guys think there's an issue with the ranked matchmaking algorithm? For example, I have 50 games total in ranked shuffle, and I constantly get matched with the highest rank possible that I stand no chance against.
Get good, scrub.
Hmm. I mean, considering that you are just starting out, it is a little bit on the rough side that you're matched up with like very strong players. That's why I kind of stay away from ranked for the most part. Because at least in player matches, the level of strength
What you're
can
getting
vary.
into.
Yeah, you know exactly what you're getting into.
Well,
Don't,
first
yeah.
thing I'm also going to say is this: rank is subjective
Mm-hmm.
because I've played some civilians in rank shuffle, and one of them I remember one of them he was playing V dash, and he whooped my ass.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. And then next thing you know, I'm like, 1v1, he whooped my ass. And then
Yep.
I ended up getting matched up against him 2 more times. And all I did was, okay, cool. I know this guy's good, so I'm just gonna pick on his partner, and I beat his ass anyway.
Yep.
So
That definitely sounds like it.
the first thing I'm gonna tell you there is, ooh, excuse me, don't assume that just because a player has a bunch of rank that they're actually good. Because a friend of mine was telling me this, that he doesn't like how ranking is done in M-Bond, because he mentioned that in EX versus 2 it's actually completely different.
Yep.
In
Crow.
EX versus 2, yeah, Crow told me. He told me that in EX versus 2, in order to rank up, you have to not just, you know, get sufficient points or whatever, but apparently you also have to, like, once you hit a threshold to rank up, you have to have a winning streak going.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't get that winning streak, then you don't get promoted.
Yeah, it should be that way to be quite honest, because quite frankly, as it stands right now, it is very easy to climb the ranks if you know exactly what you're doing. It's also like a game of luck too. If you have like a bad hand, say like a
A
player
bad
that's
partner.
just yeah, a bad partner or just a very new partner that doesn't know what they're doing, you could probably switch things up and just try to make something work as much as you can. But if it's not possible, then yeah, that's out of your hands at that point. But if you end up getting like a good hand, with a competent or a very strong player, chances are you might have a much better time.
I think for rank hold, it should be the whole winning streak thing, because you are playing with because you're likely playing with a dedicated partner.
Yeah.
But if it's for rank shuffle, I don't really care, because I mean, maybe the requirement. I think the requirements for rank hold should be harder
Mm-hmm.
than the requirements for rank shuffle. But ultimately, I mean, I just figure, you know what? Don't take it that seriously. Besides, all you need to do to get the achievement is just make ensign, or rather, excuse me, second lieutenant. So
Mm-hmm.
you don't really have to stress yourself out that much when it comes to that.
No.
Besides, if you're really trying to get better, then you can. I think you can improve in rank to shuffle. I definitely believe you can, but ultimately it's still different than ranked hold, because every time I'm playing in ranked shuffle nowadays, I'm literally looking at ranked shuffle as practice for getting overcosted, as fucking um okay. One sec.
Okay.
I look at it as practice for me playing a 3K and getting overcosted. It's literally me,
Mm-hmm.
because I've played so many matches where I get a 2K or a 2.5, and they just ignore me. Like, I'll say, hey, hey, I'll go ahead, and they don't care.
Nope. Most of the times, those
They
kind of
just,
players they don't really realize how to use comms. They don't really emphasize it as much in like the max boost mission modes either. So you're
I
kind of
mean,
stuck.
honestly, I'll be honest. I don't really use comms much myself.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped. I'm gonna be honest. I stopped. I should use comms more. Personally, yes, I should definitely use comms more. But I feel like we have vision of our partner's health now.
Yeah.
So at that point, you should be perfectly able to keep a track of what your partner's health is at this point. There's not much of an excuse there. But
Mm-hmm.
even then, I do agree. I mean, even then, ultimately, yeah, you should definitely use your you should still use your comms. But
Yeah.
I mean, not even that. It's just the fact that I can calm them all day and say, hey, stick with me, and I don't give a shit. They're doing their own thing anyway.
Yep.
So it's just like when that happens, I'm just like, okay, fine. So let me just do whatever and just poke and whatever, and then take advantage of any opportunities I have for damage, and that's usually what ends up happening. I'll have the enemy going, my partner will be going in like a maniac, and then next thing you know, the what is I'll get the opening, and I'll just poke and punish and punish and punish and punish, and then my partner dies, and then the enemy decides, okay, cool, it's time to go kill this guy now, and then they're realizing that, oh, this guy's actually still at full health, and oh, he's fighting back.
Yep.
So the disadvantage to me here is that sure, I'm full health, but because of the fact that I'm full health all this time, I don't have my burst. So that turns into its own problem.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, even then, it's perfect. I manage, but it is kind of annoying that you do have some players who just don't realize it. But they're all listed as second lieutenants, and so it's safe for me to just assume, what, these guys don't know what the hell they're doing. Um, and I don't really use my comms that much myself, so don't like them.
Yep. That's
But
life.
for the most part, my experience has been okay though. Most people do pay attention. The majority of people do pay attention. There are some morons, but people do need to realize when you get mad at this stuff, you know what it is. I'm positive that when people complain about bad partners or what have you,
Mm-hmm.
I'm positive that for every that it's just the fact that's just negative reinforcement. The problem is that when you're playing with players that are weak, the real issue is that when you play with weaker players or when you get a bad match, you remember your bad match twice as much as you remember your good match.
Yep.
To that regard, I say, yo, chill, bro. Your matches are probably fine. You're probably doing fine. It's not that serious. And even then, you know, we're all trying to get better out here. So don't even don't even sweat it, man. You're gonna have those shitty matches. Don't sweat it. Just play the game. Just either you lose, shit sucks. Oh well, next match it is. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
just
what it
basically
is.
rolling with the punches at that point. Okay, I guess my point
I
was that
mean,
the
what do
rank
you, I
system.
mean, what are you gonna do? So, I hate mail.
Nah. I mean, that's why I have my messages set to friends only, because I know for a fact there's gonna be some people that would try to take it out on you when you just try your best.
I mean, I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, if they want to give me if they want to say I haven't gotten hate mail yet, so I only hate mail. I've gotten a little bit of hate mail in Gundam Battle Operation 2, but I've also sent a little bit of hate mail in GBO to myself. But really, the only people I've sent mail to was like people who like were intentionally griefing.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no point in doing that anyway. Even then, that's defeating the purpose. Just take a screenshot, be like, yo, this guy's a piece of shit. Next,
Yep. Okay, and going back
because
to
ultimately, it's like, you know what? People get mad. It happens. I get it. I get mad too. But it's just like there's some matches where it's like, come on, guys.
mm-hmm.
There's some matches where you're looking at the situation. You're like, come on, man. We're doing fine. Relax. Let's not get all bent out of shape and shit. Come on now.
Yeah. I guess going back on what AJ's saying, I guess my point was the rank system seemed to prioritize convenience over actual fair matchmaking.
Convenience, as in connection or whoever's
Just
available.
yeah, just probably get more matches through than rather actually matching them up in a fair
To be
circumstance.
fair, I mean, here's a question, AJ. Are you trying? to get to Supreme Commander, or are you just achievement hunting? If you're just achievement hunting, you're gonna get there eventually. Don't worry about it. Getting to second lieutenant really doesn't take that much time, you know. But the getting to second lieutenant isn't gonna take that long, so don't even worry about it. But if you're really looking for, I mean, because it sounds like you don't want to go to actual rooms because some people be stacking and shit. So I can understand that. And you're not really gonna learn anything when you got two fucking people that are dedicated teams, fucking teaming up or whooping your ass. You're not really gonna get. I don't feel like you're really gonna learn anything when it's just you and a random against a dedicated team. Unless you're just like unless you and the random are just like supremely better than those two, I feel like you're not really gonna get anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you're looking for like matches like that, just go to a shuffle lobby, I guess.
And I think the other thing too is that it is hard to pinpoint who is actually a beginner because there are people that just play non-stop player matches, and then on the off chance they might just hey, let me just go on the ranked and just crush a little bit. They're still they probably might be dwarf accounts, might be accounts that have just mostly stuck to player lobbies, and it's kind of hard to pinpoint if that person's really a civilian level player or they're just actually someone who is much stronger than they appear. So it's going to be hard to balance matchmaking to introduce fair matchmaking in that regard, and it just ultimately mucks up a lot of other things too.
Mm,
I was telling you about this other day. I
I said
believe
that.
there was a team beginner lobby that was purposely baiting new players to demolish them. Yep, it's like I said before. If it's an open player lobby, chances are it's a farm. Chances are it's always a farm. It's very scummy, and if you don't see like the warning signs, then chances are that's it. Oh, an actual beginner lobby is private. It will always be private no matter what. If you don't see any private slots, chances are that it is a farm.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of those situations, it's people being fed to the wolves. Just
It's people with
corralled.
it's people with fragile egos that just want to farm people.
Yeah, just want to get
But
like
either
a.
that, or you know what? If it's one for dedicated teams, then find a partner.
Mhm.
Dead ass, find a partner, man.
It is quite
Because
unfortunate, but
otherwise,
that's.
because I mean, otherwise, all you're gonna do is you're setting yourself up to get pissed.
Mhm. It is quite unfortunate, but.
In my opinion, if you're gonna run a team game, a team lobby, then you should probably say so. Look, I'm playing with my partner. Bring your own partner, or deal with it. Otherwise, you know, I don't know. I mean, if anything, if I ever make a lobby, probably gonna be if I make a lobby, it's probably gonna be shuffle lobbies whenever I make a lobby.
Yeah. Like I might be leaning more towards like team free lobbies, and some people do actually kind of request them. But oftentimes I just run shuffle lobbies just for the sake of it, just to kind of see not only how's my individual development going, but how well I can team with certain situations where I might be the one falling behind, or I might be the one taking the lead, regardless of cost. So it's just a personal test to see how well I can develop from that point onward. But all in all, just having those various levels of skill level helps kind of grow a perspective a little bit better. But yeah, I guess kind of also going back to the pride argument, no, the pride thing.
Yeah.
It took Zalzi to kind of reason with me there that he asked me, "Why don't you play top tier units?" I just thought about it for a moment, then it just clicked to me that I was holding on to this notion that if I could get there with my own merits, now I probably sound like a broken record at this point since I did kind of say this again, that I could probably just grow stronger without having to rely on top tier units in general. But as time went on, and the
Yeah.
more that I just kind of took a tour around whichever strong suits I could get my hands on,
Yeah.
now I'm playing Destiny. Now I'm playing H2 Darkhound. Now I'm playing like suits that I really feel that I can grow a little bit faster and see what kind of bad habits I can weed out from the entire years I've been playing this entire series.
Weed out bad habits, you said?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I've developed a lot of them over the course of when I first started full boost all the way to now. So I've been probably in situations where I've veneered a lot more. I've done a lot more turnaround shots with suits that don't have like a special animation. So I feel like those are starting to go away to some degree, and the more that I play it, the better off I'll be. I just need to work on actually applying pressure, dealing with pressure, and avoiding those situations that will lead to me getting mauled. But all in all, it's just gonna be like a very slow and steady process. Like I'm going to the point where I would say, hey, the heck with it. I'm just gonna play Bale for like a full day or so. That's how it is to me at this point.
Mm. Okay.
Because I think that I did play a little bit. I did play quite a lot of matches of Bale when it was the online demo. I think it was like the last day or last week of the online demos that I played a lot more Bale. And contrary to popular belief, it's not as brainless as people think it is. Because if it was truly a brainless suit, you would have like a lot more people just knowing what exactly to do. But then again, you start running into those kind of Bale players that just try to do the normal melee and not even try to go for what I like to call Space Mountain, which is
The ladder combo.
yeah, they're not even using that armor dash on certain situations where it would be appropriate, or that AC super dash at like close range, so it's impossible to block unless if you anticipate it. But all in all, the people that really know how to play that suit would definitely fare a lot better than those that just expect the suit to carry them. Because it shows a difference between the suit and the player itself. Because as
Yeah.
time goes on in like fighting games, there's some situations where you're fighting against a character, and then there's some situations where you're fighting against a player. And when you're fighting against a player, that's when the real match begins.
I'm not gonna dig it.
Okay,
What
so
else did he tell you? What else did he tell you?
uh, well, he was just wondering what kind of top tier suits I've been kind of picking out and just testing for the most part, and ultimately told me to just stop trying to play like low tier suits or just mid tier suits and just pick a top tier. Just sanfordkelly.avi, just pick a top tier. Granted, I still play some suits, some lower cost and lower tier suits for the fun of it and for the enjoyment of the stream at my expense. But at the same time, at least learn something about a suit so it's not going to be unfamiliar to me. What kind of
Yeah.
game plan should I be going for? What kind of armaments are ideal for doing X, Y, and Z? Stuff like that. Alrighty. So, what else should we be talking about here? If you got any other ideas.
Yeah. I mean, I think if the suit's low tier, but you like the suit, then go ahead and stick with it. But ultimately, I don't think playing low tier is gonna make you really. I mean, you're gonna still learn the game with any suit, so you may as well learn with a strong suit.
Mm-hmm.
At least I think.
You missed Starbucks Twilight? Missed
Starbucks
those
is garbage.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be once October hits, you're gonna see like a deluge of pumpkin spice stuff again.
That shit isn't even that good.
No, it's not.
I don't really understand I don't really understand the hype behind it. It's
I don't
not
know.
that good.
It's just a de facto white girl thing for some apparent reason.
That's race.
uh, I mean, they're the ones that usually talk about it a lot, so there's some
I
sort of
know.
truth behind it.
I honestly no. It does seem to be like a bit of a white girl thing.
It is.
Cause I have never seen, I never see like any dudes talk about it ever. Oh, I could tell you.
Hmm. So, I guess going on the topic of missing things, from the whole Corona situation, what were some events that you were looking forward to that you wish you could actually wish you actually go to?
Well, I kind of um, I wanted to go to Anime NYC,
Hmm.
but clearly, that got canceled because of the whole pandemic thing.
Yep. Yeah, I was planning on going to Castle Point the Castle Point Anime Convention, a convention in Sea Caucus. But
Hmm.
by the time that was canceled, Corona was already kind of making its way into the states. That's when people
Yeah.
started really considering it as an issue. I would have taken that drive. I would have probably stayed at the hotel for a moment, just for those. I think it's like a 2 day event. But all in all, I really wish I could have gone there because that would have been the first actual, well, second actual New Jersey based anime convention I've gone to. But anyway, they kind of rolled that out. They rolled that weekend pass for the next year. Hopefully, things do clear up by the next year, which I pessimistically doubt. But I hope things do clear up as time goes on, or at least people have access to some sort of vaccine that's not going to scare everybody else out of their wits. But that and Anime NYC as well. So it's just mostly cons.
Yeah, that's really what beat us up, unfortunately.
Hmm.
The whole thing with the convention.
Yep. I also miss going to Waypoint Cafe as well.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. We would have had a lot more Gundam going on,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, what can you do?
Yep. Well, at least things are still being lively when it comes to like the Danger Time tournaments that have been going on as of late. So there's definitely some competition there. Yeah, like, I think there's like
Mm.
a pretty sizable amount of people that have been signing up for the tournament too, since it's free. I think the only thing is the prize pool is done with the Matcherino, so everybody can kind of crowdfund the total.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Geo movie theater in my state opened this Friday. I don't know how I feel about that. Same thing with the gyms that have been opening up lately. My gym that I usually go to opened up today, but chances are I'm not going to be going down there anytime soon. Maybe next month, or like wait until like the crowd that doesn't really care to die down and just go on from that point onward. But it's still out there. Rona Chan is still out there. I'm not gonna go on a date with that virus. That's for sure.
I want to be honest, man. I don't think we're gonna get rid of I think we're gonna get rid of the damn virus anytime soon.
Nah, that's what I doubt.
Because I just came back today earlier from my little walk. Because I like to go take a walk every day and got exercise. But it's very unfortunate that I would say more than half the people I see when I'm walking around, they're not wearing their mask.
Mm-hmm. They're still just underestimating it, or they're just probably thinking like some sort of conspiracy theory.
No, I just think people just don't give a shit.
Not that too.
It's not even about conspiracies or whatever the hell. People just straight up don't care. That's what it is. I don't buy half the whole the Trumpers or whatever, not giving a crap. Or it's just I just I don't care what people's political stance is. I just look at it as, are you stupid or are you not stupid? And at this point, it's really just coming down to these stupid.
Mm-hmm.
There's really nothing fancy about it. People don't wanna fucking put their mask on, and then people are wondering, why we're screwed.
Yep. It's just a lack for human decency and care for one another.
Like this stuff really isn't complicated.
Nah. But
I'll leave it at
let
is.
natural selection take its course. That's all I could say at this point. It's just like what? It's Ivan Drago. If he dies, he dies. Or, was that Ivan Drago?
Yeah, those Drago and Rocky Four.
Right, right. Yeah, against that was after the fight against Apollo Creed.
They really just killed him.
Yep, 1,850 pounds per square inch per punch. Whatever he hits, he destroys. But yeah, moving on to the next thing. I guess if we're gonna be topical in this situation, have you been watching any kind of VTubers lately?
I actually don't watch any of those.
Really? Like, if have you come across any clips of them, or not so much?
I've seen a couple of clips. Yeah, some of them are. From what I've seen, some of it seems to be pretty funny.
Hmm.
But yeah, just don't really have time for it, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, I do come across like a lot of clips here and there, but rarely do I ever watch like the streams. I mean, I can't really understand a thing except for like when Coco does her usual stream, she does speak a bit of English. Though that's another thing too. I think there might come a point where there's going to be a lot more bilingual VTubers, both like in the east and western parts of the world. Like you see a lot of Indonesian ones too, but as time goes on, being a VTuber is not going to be so special. It's going to be an everyday occurrence. You have a lot of people just commissioning avatars left and right just to kind of ride the wave too. Thanks. What do I think of what? Oh this guy. I'm pretty sure you've seen this video around on Twitter about the guy having a problem with boneless chicken wings. Let me put this up on stream. Oh, Denny's pancakes. There's not that many Denny's around me, so I can't really give a valid opinion. Nor have I tried their pancakes, so I can't really say for certain. Or it's been years that I've actually had something from Denny's. Like the last time I had Denny's was at Las Vegas, and I was with Joe. He goes by the name of Booty Clapper. He was my partner for Evo at for GVS. We just had some Denny's right then and there, but I think it was after we got washed up at the beginning of the tournament. We did pretty good in like the first, but after a certain point, the brackets kind of went down. I think the internet went down at the venue, and things just got a little complicated. But we were dealing with some really strong competition nevertheless. I think it was knocked out by it was first by Salt Pepper Seal and his partner, and then I think it was Testament and Runny Spade. Okay.
Nah. I don't know. I mean, I guess some people do find the whole VTuber thing funny, but I don't know. I guess I just don't really watch it. I don't know. I can't really say much about it. I mean, I noticed that some of them do get a lot of fan art, and I believe some of them even ended up getting like into games.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know some of the Hololive girls, they were in Azur Lane for a bit.
Yep. Like Keys in the Eye was like the
The one that started the whole thing.
Yeah, the one that started the whole thing. Her along with Kaguya Luna and Akari. Mm-hmm. Those I would pretty much call the big three. They started the whole craze as soon as their popularity started skyrocketing. Especially Keys in the Eye. Like she was on TV shows, she was on like talk shows, a whole bunch of other things too. That kind of spread is not only scary, but amazing at the same time too.
The internet is a powerful thing, man.
It really is. So much potential, yet so little brain power necessary. That's why I have a bunch of really stupid takes.
Leader in this country.
Let's see.
We've been casually ignoring a problem that has gotten so out of control that our children are throwing around names and words without even understanding their true meaning and treating things as though they're normal. I go into nice family restaurants and I see people throwing this name around and pretending as though everything is just fine. I'm talking about boneless chicken wings. I propose that we as a city
You hear the guy laughing in the background, noticing how ridiculous this is. I mean, with that kind of tie, I wouldn't be taking this guy seriously either. Looks like dynamite or hamburgers? I don't know what that is.
Remove the. Excuse me, I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Come on. I propose that we rename boneless wings in the city of Lincoln. We can call them buffalo-style chicken tenders. We can call them wet tenders. We can call them saucy nugs or trash. We can take these steps and show the country that where we stand, and that we understand that we've been living a lie for far too long, and we know it because we feel it in our bones.
Saucy nugs. If that guy isn't from a message board, I do not know what else is. I honestly do not know what else it is.
No, this thing is bugged. Never mind.
Wait, what?
Oh no! While we're doing this stream, I was also playing the Division 2. There seems to be a bug for
Don't worry about
collecting an
them.
item that I was trying to get. And
No.
So I just said,
Most
you know
likely
what?
not
I'm just
gonna
not gonna
eat
bother.
anything anyway, so just they could go for one day without it.
What's up?
Yeah. What'd you say?
There seems to be a issue with something I was trying to collect in the Division 2. So I said never mind and decided to stop trying to collect the item.
It's like a special kind of resource or what?
Yeah, it's a specific resource. I mean, it's not like ruining the game for me or anything. It's just kind of stupid that this bug's been moved to their attention for at least a good 9 months and they haven't done anything about it yet. Basically, when you get to a certain room, you have to shoot a circuit breaker to open a door, and then you open another door, and that spawns a boss mob. You whoop his ass, and then he's supposed to drop a key that you use to open a door. So
Right.
the bug is that when you beat the crap out of the boss mob, he doesn't drop the key. So everybody's just basically saying, dude, if this is what's going on, just remove the door. That's it. Just remove the door.
Well, that's AAA gaming for you.
I mean, it's honestly, I'm pretty sure it's a bug that's not top priority for them. So I doubt they're gonna fix it anytime soon. But it's whatever. It's not really necessary. It's not stopping me from what I need to do in the game anyway. I'm already at end game anyway, so I'm at the point where I need to. I'm at the point where I need to optimize my builds anyway. So that doesn't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
But let me think. Anyway, besides that, what was I gonna mention? Have you been having fun with Gundam Battle Operation 2?
More or less. I've actually
I'm
been.
sure you've noticed that. I'm sure you've noticed that people are a little smart. People, even though some bad matches still happen with some rage quitters, I think overall the player base's intelligence has gone up.
Yeah, I feel like it has. People actually respond to comms a little bit more frequently. They coordinate things a little bit better.
Yeah,
And as long as like you have
that's
a
definitely
good
plus.
team, as long as I have like a good thing going, you can really get some good matches out of it.
I agree completely.
And I've gotten to the habit of putting my suits in the hangars more. I should really
Oh yeah, dude, definitely.
Yeah, I've been getting the habit of I should be putting my G-Line assault armor into the hangar a lot more since I've been using that suit more often as my go-to raid.
100. I agree.
But I haven't touched any of the like higher cost matches like 650 because the only thing that I have around that range is like the Zeta Plus.
Can't say I don't blame you.
I mean, I know it's like complete Cubelate town, but hey,
It honestly isn't, but I do think Cubalay being ground capable is a problem
Mm-hmm.
because the Hmm. So it has. So here's the thing, right? I think its direct competitor when it comes to funnels is the Xeon. The Xeon is better with side funnels because its side funnels recover much faster, and it's almost impossible to overheat them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But what it makes up for is having the follow formation for the funnels, so the funnels pop up and surround you. Because those you can actually fire those I think a good 3 or 4 times before overheating. But then on top of that, you also have the what's it called? You also have the damn it, I just lost my train of thought again. Let me think for a second.
Hmm.
You also have the fact that the follow funnels you can fire them while move while boosting. So that's actually really strong.
Oh, yeah, that does a stagger.
If you hit, I believe you have to hit them twice. I believe 2 or 3 times a stagger, but they can't stagger. So you can use that as a move in or get out, or you can use that as a get out tool, or at least to kind of try to kite people a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's actually really good.
Hmm. I'm surprised how well they've been implementing the funnels into the gameplay in general.
I think it's interesting because they also benefit you. They also benefit. They actually benefit from ASL parts,
Mm-hmm.
but the ASL parts still have the same exact fault that they've always had, in my opinion, and that's that they just cost way too much in slot. It's just way too much.
Yeah,
It's excessive.
like there's some parts in this game that cost way too much for like any other suit in this game, even like around the 600 to 700 territory.
Yeah.
So unless if they kind of balance those parts out so it's easier to implement, I don't think there's going to be any kind of use whatsoever. Because I'm pretty sure with
I
the information that they have for like whatever suits are being used, there's some record of like what kind of parts are implemented and whatnot.
Well, hopefully they figure it out because right now I think that's really the only issue I have. That just some parts are just not as good.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
Yeah. And I guess going on to like the PSO2 side, have you been playing any PSO2 lately, or not so much?
I don't have a 360 and I don't have a PC, so I can't play. Rip.
Ah, right, right. But those that have been interested in playing PSO2, mostly on the Japanese server, the last Emergency Quest boss was released today. And boy,
Yeah,
it doesn't look like
I gotta,
it looks larger than life.
I gotta hold that. I gotta hold that L.
uh, but all in all, that boss looks like a very interesting fight to say the least. I've yet to try it out myself. I've been meaning to get some time in. Quite frankly, I should be doing a little bit more activity with the PSO2 in general because I haven't really touched the game as often as I should. Maybe just
Mm.
stream it a little bit more often, maybe on both the North American side and the JP side. Though I got to refrain from streaming any of the story mode out of sincerity. But I'm sure there's people that have streamed story mode on their own too, but just to kind of respect the people that are still playing the North American version of PSO2
I
and
can
are going through
respect
the
that.
story, you don't want to spoil too many things. But let me tell you,
Yeah.
episode 6 has been a wild ride. It has been nonstop, foot on the gas.
Sounds good.
Okay, AJ said, "Oh, I was gonna ask the other day if it's a 600 cost match, but my highest is a 550. Am I completely screwing my team by queuing?"
No,
No.
no, no. You can use a suit that's up to 100 cost less, but here's the thing: you have to remember, because even if it is 600 and you're running in a 500, if you have a suit that's fully enhanced, for example, if you have a suit that's fully enhanced, you have the support parts for it, and no, the custom parts, excuse me, and you also have a good knowledge of that suit, you should be okay. Because not only that, you also have to remember, even if you do die, the enemy team isn't going to get that much out of you. You know, they're still only going to get 100 points out of you. Oh, excuse me, they're going to get 100 points less out of you. You're also going to be spawning in a little bit sooner as well. So be smart with your spawning because you're going to be spawning in more than your team when you die. You know, remember that. But also remember that, you know, be aware of your weaknesses, be aware of what's strong in that cost, and don't make yourself a liability. So if you're going in on that cost and you know what's used the most, for example, the majority of suits in 600, they tend to dump beam shots at you. So knowing that, don't be a moron, right? Don't be a moron, and don't go in there thinking, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna go in with a suit that's 100 cost less, and that's susceptible to beam rifle fire," and then you're wondering why you're getting waxed.
Yep, don't go with camphor in a meta where there's a bunch of beams. You're gonna
You
see a lot of
know,
like Mark twos. You're gonna see a lot of double Zetas or Zetas. A lot of suits that have very interesting beam weaponry that will shred you if you're not careful.
just use your head there. Other than that, no. If you pick a suit that should be sufficient or that does work well in that cost, then I don't see any reason for that suit doing poorly. There's no reason why it shouldn't do well. Cut and dry.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna bluntly say no. You should be okay. Just be smart about it. Please be smart about it. Um, I think as long as you're smart about it, I don't suspect that there's gonna be any problem. Just be smart about it. Pick a competent suit. Pick a suit that you have built up, and as long as it's not a suit that's just gonna walk in there and get its ass whooped, and it's not gonna be at a horrible disadvantage, there really shouldn't be any problem. No, I think I don't think there's any reason for you to be concerned. Honestly, I don't think so. Just be smart about it, please. Please be smart about it. That's literally it. Be smart about it.
Hmm. Well, they are running a lot of primordial glare from the void. Huh. Wait, they actually ran it 3 times when it first rolled out. Huh. Ah. So, anything else? Anything y'all want to talk about? Any questions or anything interesting you guys and gals want to share?
I mean, I think I kind of like where Gundam Battle Operation 2 is going right now. I think they're doing pretty good with it.
Yeah. I mean, for like a grounded game, it really does have its own kind of speed. Like matches do feel like they go pretty fast if it's a good time, but if it's a team that's actually putting up a fight, then there's some really interesting dynamics that can come from it too.
Yeah.
Oh, also, any other games you're looking forward to by the end of the year?
I'm actually waiting on my copy of Captain Tsubasa: Rise of Champions to come out.
Oh, hmm. Yeah, that game looks pretty fun too.
It's a little buggy, but like it has a couple of bugs. But otherwise, I think the game's looking pretty good. The game's fun.
Hmm. Yeah, so far I'm just waiting on my copy of 13 Sentinels to come in since I pre-ordered it. Should be coming out this month, so I'm definitely looking forward to getting my hands on that game for sure.
I mean, but yeah, what was it saying? Ugh, oh well. I lost my train of thought again.
It's something about Captain Tsubasa still.
It has a couple of bugs, but otherwise the game's good.
Hmm. Has Nothing XS talked about it in detail yet?
He's he's actually streaming it right now.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Let's see.
Yeah, he's actually streaming it right now. He's having a lot of he likes it. There's a couple of it has a couple of issues, and the only issue I'm aware of is that online's a little wonky, and everyone is running the same striker and the same goalkeeper. Other
Hmm.
than that, the game seems to be doing fine.
Yeah, that's good.
Everyone's running Schneider, um, and for striker because apparently his fire shot is absurd. And let me think. Everyone's running Schneider, and let me think. Everyone's running Schneider. Yeah, everyone's running Schneider for striker, and everyone is running Mueller for GK.
Hmm.
So apparently, Mueller is like mad good.
So wait, from the sound of it, that sounds like you can customize your team to some degree, right?
Yes, you can make customized teams.
Wow. Yeah. And that's like from any team in particular. You could just pick one teammate out of that and just build it from there, or.
Yeah, because basically there's characters at the school level, but then there's also characters at the international level. If I'm not mistaken, there's two episodes. The first episode covers how Tsubasa went from in middle school to basically take his school to be the champions, and then the second episode is called New Hero, and in the New Hero arc is where you make a custom character, and what happens from there is your character ends up joining one of the other schools with the first goal of beating Tsubasa, and then from there, you're obviously playing for one of the Japanese schools, and then from there, once you do that, you go into the world stage
Hmm.
and you take on teams and everything. Some of the characters and teams that are introduced are new to the franchise. For example, the two characters for the two American characters are completely new. I believe the characters from Senegal are also new. Who else? Yeah, the characters from America are new. I think the characters from Senegal are also new. And from what I can tell, like certain Japanese characters are really strong, of course, as they always are. But then, like some of the other characters from other countries are actually pretty good too. Like one of the Senegal star players, is insanely fast. Like he covers ground like a madman. Of course, Germany's just loaded. I'm sorry, Germany's broken in that game
Hmm.
because they have so many strong players. It's not even funny. Because like I mentioned before, You already have. Oh wait, I'm not breaking this part. This gun's perfect. The like Germany stack. Germany stack. America, for example, has 2 star players. Senegal, I think, has 2 star players. France has like 3 or 4. Germany has like 6. You know, Germany has Schneider, the striker, Mueller, the GK, Kaltz, which is a defender, and then like 3 other characters that are like specifically, identified as being like really really good.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I noticed that there is like a cost system. So I'm assuming when you do PvP online, you can make cost restrictions like that.
Right.
People can't just go nuts and just pick broken characters. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure that's still gonna come down to the same thing. Pick Schneider, pick Mueller, and then go from there with everybody else. I was thinking Genzo, aka Godzo, was gonna be the broken OP GK, but I guess not. He's still pretty good though. Because there's three GKs for Japan. It's him, it's Wakashimazu, and then there's Morisaki. But Morisaki's not very good. But even him, they gave him a skill that makes him at least somewhat competent. Where he gets stronger the later the match goes. So that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the longer he's been in the match or the deeper into the game it has gotten. If that's the case, then he's clearly not good as a starting GK. But maybe you can put him in as a second half GK, and maybe he'll do well there.
Yeah.
I'd have to ask. I'd have to ask. I'd have to ask Nothing Excess because I know he used to also play the gotcha game, but he dropped it. He dropped it, then he came back to it for a little bit, but then he dropped it again because he wasn't happy with what they were doing with the game. It seems that K-Lab like really did a bad job, and it's kind of sucks because the graphics and the way that the game plays was kind of interesting,
Mm-hmm.
but gotcha balance happened, I guess.
I guess.
But other than that game, I'm just waiting because I still gotta get it, still job hunting, so I'm probably not gonna go too ham on things until probably not gonna go too ham on things until I get a job.
Yeah, that makes sense. Don't want to kind of expend the funds too quickly, so you won't have anything to kind of stay afloat with.
It's not even, yeah. It's just cut and dry, you know. I ain't trying to. Excuse me. I ain't trying to live beyond my paycheck. That's not a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they do approve the whole extra money thing, even then I'm not going to because that's just gonna be another way of building bad habits, and I don't want to do that.
Yep, it's best to be frugal. At least you can actually rely on having enough money in order to last you for a long period of time than just spend your money just. There's
Being
always this
stupid.
one phrase that my dad always says that seems like a bit of a trap. Treat yourself. Treat yourself.
Well, sometimes you do gotta treat yourself. Let's be
Yeah,
real.
just treat yourself responsibly,
Mm-hmm.
but don't just go absolutely overboard and just let it get to your
Screw
head
yourself.
because you have a lot of money, especially with the Trump bucks. You can't really be overzealous on what you can get. Like, there's so many things I want to get, but the way that I discipline myself, I just temper any kind of temptations of just blowing my money like nothing. So it comes with like a bit of the territory here and there. Just gotta know exactly. Just gotta understand the cost benefit analysis of what you're spending money on and whether or not it's gonna benefit you in more of like a mental sense, in a productive sense, if it's meant to like add some certain skills or give you some reason to be a little bit more invested on other avenues that might come in the future. Stuff like that.
I agree. But it's just it does kind of make you a little, it does make me a little impatient.
It does.
It has made me a bit. It has made me a bit impatient. But end of the day, gotta deal with it.
Yep. Life is rough, so you gotta be rougher.
Man, but you just can't be stupid.
Nah. You always gotta be ahead of the curve.
I mean, I saw the game pre-ordered though, so I'm definitely looking forward to playing the game though.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, I still have
I think
my model kit backlog to work on too. I think I might work on the either Slave Wraith or the Levitine next. Probably do that on stream.
blind.
Yep, because I think the major things that are going to be the most time consuming would be the Bullet Knight's Lancer, Megami device, and the Gesterbein Kai. And if I showed you the box in its entirety, it's big.
It's a big boy.
It really is. But all in all, I think for a freestyle episode, we did kind of cover quite a bit.
I think it's good to have a little bit of freestyle every once in a while. I think this might become a habit.
Yeah, there's no problem there. We'll just talk about various topics. Hopefully, we can get more people to watch the streams. But hey, we're still a small stream.
That's gonna take time. I think once we do a few more suit reviews, and you've posted them on your YouTube, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. No, I think we'll get there. Just takes time. Sooner or later, it'll happen. Just gotta take time.
Yeah, I think another
You
idea
gotta
that
just keep at it.
yeah, I think another idea I might have in mind is just start putting the audio versions onto like on SoundCloud. So if anybody wants to listen to it on the go on like their car radio or anything else, I know it's just gonna be trading visuals for more of like audio banter, but either way, it's still content. We still need to also try to find time with Latios and Chex Guy in order to do that narrative episode too.
Yeah, we do need to set that up. I actually am looking forward to that some.
Yeah, I'll probably reach out to them, or we could probably both reach out to them and see what could be done there. Because I know Latios works very late hours too, so that might be the silver bullet against us. But if we probably have like checks available, then that might be sufficient enough. But it kind of robs the experience of having everybody that watched the movie together to really chime in.
Yeah. No, it's definitely something I'll be looking forward to once we get around to that. It'll just take a little bit of time to get to it, but we'll get there.
Yeah, in fact, let me do this. I'll just go into the hangar, add checks, add adios. Going to yell, wanna do an episode with us on Gundam narrative. And we'll go from there.
Sounds like a plan.
Yep. So I'm probably gonna do a little bit more studying after this podcast. Maybe play some PSO2 a little bit too. Probably not gonna stream it though, but
Oh, you're not streaming it to protect for spoilers, right?
not just for the story mode stuff. I might just do like everything else on stream, but
Yeah.
all in all, I just want to see how far this episode 6 is gonna go because it is the last episode of PSO2 before moving on to New Genesis.
Gotcha. So wait, is New Genesis going to be a completely new game or what? What's going on with that?
It's a major expansion, but it takes place like years after the original game.
Okay.
And actually, let me link the video in the. I'll DM it to you.
Okay. Yeah, please do.
Oh, it's a Gundam did a new video too.
What happened?
It's a Gundam. He just did a new video on
Oh,
the
gonna
new
have to
the new
watch that.
graphics card.
He's actually one of my favorite YouTubers. To be
Oh,
honest
he
with
is. I like his videos too. He's that like he is probably the last edgy comedian
I
that's
mean,
still going to this
I'm
day.
just gonna put it like this. It's a Gundam. It's actually funny.
Hmm.
That's it. That's the statement.
Yeah, he's actually
It's a
funny.
Gundam, actually funny. There's literally nothing else I can say about it. He's actually funny. Everybody else is just like, "Alright, fuck off. Nobody cares."
Hmm. Yep. And he also does like model kits too, so that's another thing. So
Yeah, he does. He does. I believe he has a separate model kit channel too. Yeah,
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
it's a Gunpla.
Hmm.
So if on the off chance you are listening, Mr. Gundam, Papa Gundam, we like your content, G.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't get banned. Like honestly, like I would be pretty upset. I would be genuinely upset if they got rid of his channel.
Oh,
Like he's legitimately funny, and it's cool that he actually, from what I understand, him and Pokimane apparently,
yeah, they cover thing. They
yeah,
patch things up.
yeah, they made up. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean he's not a hard guy to find and kind of reason with too. It's just that Pokemon's fans tend to be a bit on the rabbit side. So I'm glad things got patched up the way it did. Like you said, though, it could have been patched up way earlier, and none of the extra stuff would have happened. But either way, that collision course was bound to alleviate some form of pressure.
Yeah. What can you do?
Yep, what can you do?
No, I think it's ultimately personal. It could have been a lot worse. So I think it's definitely a good thing that they made up. I think that's great. I think that's definitely a good thing because especially because he's been pretty. He can come across as pretty rough
Mm-hmm.
towards towards Switch dots, etc.
Yeah.
But I feel like ultimately, I feel like he's never really been like like honestly, even when he was being mean, it wasn't even directly towards most of the Twitch thoughts. He just
No.
called them thoughts. It's mostly him. He honestly, most of the time, he's ragging on
On the concept of it.
on the simps. Actually,
Yeah. Yeah.
he's ragging on the simps. Those are the people that he was always, you know, shit talking the simps because they're the ones that are fucking being dumbasses. Honestly.
Yeah. They're the
But
ones.
I mean, at the same time, I mean, I guess you can go ahead and say, you know what, some of these guys are vulnerable and they're being taken advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, you gotta stop stimping, bruh.
Yeah. Like I can. Here's the thing. I can understand if that streamer has been providing some quality content. You want to support them. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
if they're doing the bare minimum and you're rewarding them with money, whose fault is that?
There you go. That's I mean, ultimately, it's your fault because you're the one giving them the money.
Yeah. And it's like people give like hundreds upon thousands of dollars for girls that don't really do much.
No, I remember there was a video that he made about that actually. He made a video and he gave a shout out to a female streamer and he mentioned that this girl like really put the time into her content.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't like, she wasn't sexualizing herself, which I'm just gonna say this real quick. Hey, flaunt it if you got it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm perfect. Flaunt it if you got it. But if I'm not mistaken, from what he mentioned, the girl did a lot of really good content. She was very knowledgeable of what she did. She even had worked with Nintendo, I think it is,
Oh, it's
for
her.
some things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And that's the same
and
one
and
that got hit with
and,
those allegations too.
and I think what ended up happening was she was upset because like she's a legitimate streamer, a legitimate content creator, and then next thing you know, she got sponsored.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yo, like, is that fair? Like, what's up with?"
And I think we're
So
talking.
that was something where I thought we had a pretty valid complaint about, because it was
Mm,
like, "Yo, like, you got people who are running around and they're making quality content, and you know you don't want to you don't want to hook them up.
mm-hmm.
You don't want to give them that chance to you don't want to give that chance to shine. That's fucked up."
Yeah. They're the ones that are busting their humps trying to get like quality stuff out there, and you're just rewarding the people that just do less. They just
Hmm.
have like they only have like the sex appeal, and that's it. Nothing entertaining, nothing worthwhile listening to, or hearing any stories that might be worthwhile. It's just vapidness.
Pretty whack.
But at the same time, we're in a day and age where relationships are kind of starved, and a lot of situations where dating is not the healthiest thing out there if you're going on like websites and mobile apps. If you just go out and do like the traditional way of trying to find someone to hook up with, or just trying to find someone to go on a date with, that's fine. But if you're trying to look for something meaningful on like a dating app, you're playing Russian roulette.
Ain't that the truth, Bray?
Yep, because majority of the people on dating sites tend to be people that come from like past relationships and just want like a quick fling. Let's be real here. And I think
I
is it gonna?
mean, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that people are trying to expect more out of it, that kind of set themselves up for failure or set themselves up for self destruction.
That's fair.
Then again, going back to It's a Gundam, he did a video on hypergamy, where I think someone did like an experiment of it was like stock images of like male models, and the entire description was like heinous stuff, and the girls were just flocking towards it and just blowing past
Oh,
it.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the guy, the people who made a video. I mean, they made
A
a
Tinder account.
thingamajig. Yeah, and the whole point of the account was the person saying that they basically took a random picture of a guy who looks really really attractive,
Mm-hmm.
and the video is and the description is basically saying that they include that, hey, look, that they're either like a child molester or that they did something really like bad,
Yeah.
and girls were like, I don't care, and then the
Yep.
girls just didn't care. The guy was attractive, so there you go.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. Yeah, that was actually pretty funny. I think there was another one where a guy was doing a stream where they took copied content from someone,
Mm-hmm.
and then they started streaming, and then a bunch of simps lined up, and then somewhere during the stream, he the guy revealed himself, and then everybody just immediately left and reported the account and reported the channel, which is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
No, that was hilarious. That one had me dying for a little bit.
Yep. But it's hard to find love in this day and age. I can tell you that.
I mean,
That's why I have a lot of Sims. There's a lot of people that think that if I spend enough money on this one girl, she might even look at me and reciprocate. Even though that's never going to be the case.
Keep telling your guys one of these days maybe.
Wait, what'd you say?
You keep trying, guys. Maybe you'll get it.
Yeah, maybe a couple of $1,000s more, maybe a mortgage. Who knows? You might even get that chance to get some semblance of warmth.
Nah, fam.
Just keep on the OnlyFans. Maybe she might recognize you.
Not.
Not.
I don't know. I think it's. I don't know. But like I said, at the end of the day, I think It's a Gundam is legitimately funny. So I'm definitely going to be watching that video when I get off here because I
Mm-hmm.
do genuinely enjoy it. I do genuinely enjoy his content, and I hope he doesn't go anywhere anytime. I
No,
think
I
he's
hope
great.
I hope he actually goes nowhere but up. Like even the slight jabs against like Susan Wachowski and the entire structure of YouTube, which he has
Yeah,
every right and reason to say, because the system of YouTube has been messed up and favors more towards like celebrities and talk show hosts. So
which is whack.
it is whack. Because YouTube was only started by people that were just interested in just expressing themselves. You are the creator. You are the audience, not us, not them. That's it. But now they're just
Hmm.
turning into them tube, where it's just their own camp, pretty much. And they're doing everything in their power in order to crush any kind of objective voice and try to tamper down on calling people out for scummy stuff. It doesn't make sense. It's taking that freedom away from a lot of people. And it's hard to find like an alternative because chances are there's a monopoly that prevents new sites from ever going toe to toe against such an established platform. So
Sad but true.
same thing with Twitch. Like there was probably a chance when it came to like Justin TV, but as time went on, it just became a juggernaut.
Unfortunate but true.
Yep, but that's life.
I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But hopefully they'll do. Hopefully, YouTube gets its head out of its ass. I mean, I kind of just realized that they actually lost. I'm actually kind of butthurt that they don't have Cobra Kai anymore.
Yeah, that's a funny thing. Now it's on Netflix for some reason.
It is on Netflix.
I hope they still remain the same, especially when it comes to season three. But I'm
Well, I'm gonna assume that it's not going anywhere in that regard.
yeah, it's just a change of platform.
You know,
Let's just hope it stays as a change of platform.
we'll find out soon enough. Like,
Right. Well, I guess we can call it a night here. We've been streaming for close to 2 hours. Not bad at all.
all right, sounds like it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off then.
All right.
Um,
And I also gotta check to see what the if Momochu's kind of done with their commissions.
oh, you look at the commissioner.
I've already commissioned her with something, but it's been a while. Just want to see what's up.
Gonna stop you right there. Be patient. Give them time. Give artists time.
Yep,
No
yep.
point in rushing.
Yeah.
When
All right.
because it's just bad manners to rush an artist. I'm all for giving them time.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, even if I've had bad experiences with some artists where they've taken an excessive amount of time, I mean, give them that time and it'll be all right. I mean, if anything, if something's happened, checking in with them is perfect.
Yeah.
But if it's only been a little bit of time, and as long as they're active and doing things, then everything should be fine. But if you're noticing that a motherfucker wants to be acting a fool and not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and then worse still, they want to act like they want to take more commissions when excuse me, they want to take more commissions when they still got stuff pending, then now it's just one of those situations you're like, yo, what's going on?
Yeah. So I'll just, yeah, I'll be patient, just keep a close eye on what's happening, and just go from there. Because that's,
End of the day, don't be a dick.
yep, that's, I always, for like the past few people that I commissioned, I've always maintained that level of professionalism. Even when it came to like commissioning voices.
All right, nah, you should be fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry, bruh.
Because the thing is, the moment that's done, I'm gonna make that as my VTuber avatar. That's why.
That's what you're doing.
Yep. So, just in due time.
Sounds like a plan then.
Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and hop off then.
Alrighty.
Take it easy, bro. We'll
You
talk
too,
later.
man.
Everybody else, y'all know the drill. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay the hell out of trouble. And ban Evan because it's always his fault.
I don't think he's showed up in the chat once, but hey.
Oh, I gotta say that anyway.
Yeah.
Gotta ban his ass anyway. You're never gonna change that. Y'all take it easy, fellas.
Alright, man. Peace. Well, that's all for tonight. Definitely an interesting night for sure. Never thought we'd be making this much time with the freestyle stream, but we'll see what we can do for like the later episodes. Hopefully get another max boost seat spotlight. I might have to check back at that straw poll that I made a while back to see what can be next. Or just pick out at random and see what we can come up with and see where we can go from there. But it's much appreciated that if anyone's listening, if anyone's watching, you really did make the stream worthwhile. You definitely make it worth doing for a good amount of time. Perhaps we will put things up on SoundCloud and see what we can work with there. But until then, y'all be good, y'all take care, and peace out.